A report showing the gross domestic product (GDP) of the five southeast states has been generating mixed reactions from members of the public, with many expressing surprise at the numbers. According to the cable on Friday, a report by Boji showed that Imo State has the highest GDP in the southeast. Imo State GDP stands at 7.68 trillion naira, followed by Anambra State, which has a GDP of 5.14 trillion naira. Third on the list is Abia State, which has a GDP of 3.53 trillion naira, and the fourth is Ebonyi State with a GDP of 2.24 trillion naira. Surprisingly, the southeast state with the lowest GDP in the region is Enugu State with 1.45 trillion naira. The report has been attracting reactions from people, and many have taken to the comment section to share their views on it. Some were surprised to see that Ebonyi State generates more income than Enugu State, and said that the credit should be given to the efforts of the former administration. Some people also said that they are surprised that Imo State has the highest GDP in the southeast region, higher than Anambra State, and said that the state is not getting the credit it deserves. Well, the company or the body that brought these figures out, are we saying that they didn't do their own work very well? I know budget has been a reputable body, so what really went wrong? Because when you see the unrest that is always happening in the southeast, it's mostly in Imo State. So what has really gone wrong? It's Imo State, of course. Anambra still has its own share of this unknown whatever the unrest going on, but it's not as high as what is happening in Imo State. So that is why a lot of people are really surprised. And when you hear people talk that, oh, the richest state is southeast, oh, the most billionaire that we have, or the richest people are in Anambra State. So that is why a lot of people are kind of concerned. Well, that is normal after all Nigeria GDP. After all Nigeria GDP, he is bigger than South Africa. But ask yourself, if the living conditions of both countries, which one is better? Great observation. That is the fact. People like you who are reasonable and not gullible are needed in this country. That is normal. Nigeria GDP is bigger than South Africa, but ask yourself, if the living condition of both countries, which one is bigger or better? APC results Imo and Ebonyi. I see the real result will soon be out. If Lagos, with all its advantages of a former capital of Nigeria, can do only 41 trillion naira, and Imo, with all the disadvantages, is doing almost 8 trillion naira, Lagos State would have been an empty shell without those advantages, in spite of its location. So what is the noise about? Abia is coming. Okay. I can't remember if we have a Lagos in Southeast, because we are talking about Southeast. Well, maybe somebody has mentioned Lagos. Oh, all of them put together and all of that. Well, we know the reason why Lagos is like that. It may have something to do with oil in Imo State. It is not about the GTB, but how judicious was it used? That is very important. Don't forget, Ebonyi State supposed to be second on the list. Only Kwari, Ebonyi said, sold a week can pay all workers in Anambra. Many minerals is in Ebonyi more than other states in Southeast. In 2 years coming, Ebonyi will be the first, and it is in that state that you have the state governor who is adding 10,000 naira, only 10,000 naira to workers' salary, 10,000 naira, and people are like, what is going on? What is 10,000 naira compared to the present day economy? What can somebody do with 10,000, additional 10,000? Well, that is that. Nigeria statistics are manage the process. Which Imo state is it from Mbese or Mbano? Only Nnewi and Onitsha GDP is higher than the entire Imo state. Imo State GDP higher in Southeast, yet it doesn't reflect on the people in Imo State. Which state does their GDP reflect? As ask me, oh, which state does their GDP reflect? Even the Lagos they are talking about. When I hear the GDP, I will just or the IGR or whatever, I just laugh. Really, really. Oh, is it just to have the number? Like Tinubu is boasting. Oh, he took Lagos from this to this, from one point to another, and I'm saying, so what is the importance of that? Yes, I am surprised that Imo State has the highest GDP in Southeast zone of Nigeria with 5 states. Imo has the highest with 7.6 trillion naira, and Enugu with the lowest 1.4 trillion naira. I'm not even surprised for Imo because the state has so many years now become the hub of hospitality, tourism, and entertainment both in the southeast and Nigeria as a whole. And this industry generates more revenue than trading and oil. This is why many people are surprised that Anambra and Abia states with the highest markets in the zone don't generate more money than Imo State with smaller markets. Go to Owerri, the capital in Imo State, and you will find out that as small as the city is, it contains more than 500 small, medium, and big hotels, brothels, restaurants, eateries, big joints, and entertainment centers. The small Ishiwu and Nkwobi joints are more than 1,000 in Owerri alone, really. During festivals like Christmas and Easter, all the hotels rooms and suites are fully booked 2 months in advance. Owerri is really a money-making machine. Imo State is also an oil-producing state, but she makes more money from hospitality and tourism business. God bless Imo State and Imo Light in Jesus' name. Big amen. I'm not even promoting Hope Uzodinma. Yes, this one says not promoting Hope Uzodinma and his APC government of Imo State. For far from it. In fact, the GDP of Imo State slowed down since the APC took over the governance of Imo State. We started seeing the GDP of Imo State rising and growing from the time of former Governor Achike Udenwa of the PDP through Ikedi or him and up to Emeka Yedioha, all the PDP, all of the PDP. These former governors I have mentioned kick-started and continue development of Imo State before Mr. Uzodinma came. And so, all I have said that boosted the GDP of Imo State happened when these former governors were in charge, but then spilled over to the present governor Uzodinma. The PDP governors were the brains behind Imo State development and progress, not APC. Okay. Well, good news for my state, Eastern Heartland. Lagos State with all the Yoruba states with all the advantages are not even far better than the Southeast. Even the North with all the ruling class are not even better than the Southeast. And I also believe that the crop of governors in the East now that are trying to create advantages for themselves. Southeast is coming, but no Yoruba person is running to your place, but you people are the ones tripping to Yoruba state every day. Then why the constant wailing, complaints, and lamentations from the Igbos? Okay, yeah. Well, one thing is that the issue is that the GDP per state in the southeast should not be a surprise to anyone due to the fact that the people from that region are very enterprising. The earnings would have been more if not for the deliberate attempts by successive governments to suppress the indigenous of that region. Okay, so guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.